Okay, let's roll 'em. Studio 47 here. Well, like I said last night, I said I was going to the VFW meeting in my old hometown where I used to live. And it's not the VFW, it's the American Legion. I had it mixed up. I was there, I joined I was there 2 months ago or something. Now I'm back, and I gotta travel at night. It's tough. And I was in the building. I pull up, I go to the wrong building. I'm wandering around, I can't get in. There was no meeting. Then I go to where I belong, and I'm trying to go into the side door, and the meeting started, and they just ignored me. They ignored me, so I had to go around the front. They said, and I had to go through the bar, and I got in there. Finally, I got in there. Well, here's some of the things I found out. As far as shooting the guns, yes, they shoot the guns, but as far as getting cremated and being put in the bullets, they never heard of that. They never heard of that. But who knows? Maybe I'll start a new fad or something, you know? So that was one thing. Another thing, you can buy a brick, and they're gonna put them like at the Borough Hall in front, the memorial. And I'm gonna look into trying to get a brick. That sounds good, but you gotta prove. You gotta have proof that you were in it and everything and all. And what army you were? Where? Who? I mean, it can't be the German army or something. It's gotta be the U.S. of A. Not no German army. They don't want you. That was another thing. But I was welcome. A couple guys recognized me and everything, and were glad to see me. It felt good. It was nice. It was nice. And even when I went out to the bar, going home, I'm going to go through the bar. I don't drink. My wife cured me of that. I don't do that no more. So, anyway, I went out to the bar. I got to tell you, when I was in I bought everybody a drink at the bar. If you want to make friends in a bar, just buy them a drink. Oh, they love that. They love that. Buy them a drink. But you got to be careful. You see how much it's going to cost me, 20 or something? It's not a big deal or anything. But it's always more than what you thought it was going to be. But that's not big. That's not big. Anyway, I wanted to tell you about this thing I got. You see this here thing? That's a hearing aid. And I've got to wear it on my head. Look, there's a pin on my head, and I put the pin. I'm not even going to put the battery in there because it squeals. It'll start squealing and ruin everything. So, but anyway, I had the hearing. I don't wear it here because it squeals. So, I had the hearing aid on and everything, and when I was leaving, then one guy, he was a stranger to me, and he said, "Hey, could I ask you, what's that on your head?" I told him it was a camera. A camera. Yeah. So we had a good laugh, and then I told him what it was about. But, with the bar, you know, I used to own a bar. Oh, my God. Don't ever do anything like that. If you want a bar, go be a bartender for a week or something, or 3 days. Not make a big investment and buy a bar, and then that was bad news. And like with everything else that I wind up in life getting mad about and everything, you know, I walked away from it. You know. I sold it, but they owed me money. And when they sold it, like 4 years later, I had to be at the closing because they owed me money. And they sold it for double or triple what I paid for it. So the place was hopping. I wasn't cut out for that thing. And this leads up to the story. One more story I wanted to tell you about the bar confrontations. This is like maybe this is the last one. Anyway, with the confrontation, now I realize I was showing my grandson when we were hunting with a black powder gun and everything, and the old black powder gun, you put the powder in, and then you put the bullet and you push it down with a stick and all. You only get one shot, that's it. Well, the old gun had two triggers, a back trigger, that's what they call a hair trigger, and a front trigger. So when you pull a back trigger, that sets the hair trigger for the front. And the front then it's sensitive. Man, oh man, you don't take nothing and that front trigger will go off once the hair trigger. So now I realize that's what I had. I had a hair trigger. That's what was wrong with me. I had a hair trigger. So, anyway, here's what happened in the bar. I come in, and they would sell beer in by paper. We would sell it in paper containers, like after 10 or something. And then, or on a Sunday, you couldn't buy it that bottles. You had to buy containers. So he would come in every once in a while, and he was a sneaky son of a gun. What he would do, he would take a position by a big bill, wherever there was a big bill, and he positioned himself. He got the container of beer, and he got the bill too. He took it, and also this other one of the patrons, the bill was robbed. Who took the bill? It was gone. The bill was gone. He thought I took it. Well, I wouldn't do nothing like that. And anyway, the guy seen the bill was gone. So he says, "What happened to my money?" I says, "I don't know." But I put it together. It was that guy for the container of beer. So when I turned away from the guy, I said, "I didn't take your bill," and everything. And the guy took the beer bottle or something, and he threw it at me. And it hit the brick wall like behind me where the piano player used to sit there and everything. And it hit the wall, and then the hair trigger went off. And now it could be anybody. It could be Andre the Giant or something. Stupid. I attacked, and I hit him over the bar and everything. But here was the point. The whole place must have had a hair trigger. Everybody that was there. It wasn't a great big crowd, but there was a lot of times there was a big crowd, but it wasn't, a dozen people. And everybody had a hair trigger, and everybody started fighting. It was bedlam. It was just out and out bedlam. And anyway, the next day, I'm cleaning up, and there was a hole right through the kitchen door, right through it. I looked at the door. I said, "What the heck happened to the door?" And now I'm in the kitchen here. Now when you own the bar, you got to do the dishes. Stupid, terrible business and everything. But anyway, I'm in the kitchen. And I found that that hockey puck, the machine, like a bowling machine or something. That puck, somebody took the baby, and fired it in the bedlam and a commotion, and it went clean through the kitchen door. If that ever hit anybody in the head, it'd be a goner. So I thought I'd tell you that story. And that commotion, that was a bad one. That was a bad one. But a bar, I'm going to stop it right here and compose. See where we're at. Okay, I looked at that, and it's okay. To me, doing this here is easy. I just tell my stories. I'm like writing my book. We went to Europe just recently, and I told the guys some stories on a trip and everything, and the couple of people there said to me, you ought to write a book, you know. A lot of it's about people that I know and all. If you weren't crazy or something, I didn't want to associate with you or something. I don't know, the kind of friends you pick in life and everything. I don't know, that impress you or what. I don't know, but some of my friends, well, they were something.
So it's me, Nick, Frank.
Okay, we got a beginning, we got an end, and the middle of this thing is like the donut. That's what we're doing here now, filling in the donut hole. And the music, I used to play the music from behind me there, and then you had the music and mixed in with me, and I'd lower the volume and everything, but that was no good. Like that's not the way to do it. Put the music in later, because then that little bit of music and all, then you got some control over it. Otherwise you try to put something out and the music all messed up and everything. So I thought I'd tell you about that. I put the music in later, that little bit. The other thing I thought, just to finish this up, because I don't have a lot of time, tell you a little bit more about this, the hearing aid. The hearing aid, this baby. Now, I had a heart operation, but that I don't think that had any. I got to tell you about that though, a little bit someday. But I lost my hearing. Went to the doctors. Finally, they MRI and everything, and they said, you've got a tumor in your head, and you got to go to a specialist and don't ignore it. So I went, and I went to New York. At first, I didn't like the guy's staff and all. He was in, I won't even say what nationality, what country, but somebody advised me, go to North Jersey. So I went to North Jersey, and it's Dr. Overlook Hospital. The doctor held his device against my head, and he says, if you hear anything, let me know. Well, he didn't have it on. Yeah, some method of holding it against there. No. He didn't have it on. Then he turned it on, and I heard. I said, man, what's that? And what it is, but he says, he can't hold it. I can't hire him to hold it against my head forever. You know, we got to put a pin in your head. So a little operation. I got a pin over here somewhere. Yeah, over here. And then it snaps into the pin. The other day with the can you see that straight? That thing? When I was in the bar that I told you, and I told the guy it was a camera. He says, I see you got the wire. That's not a wire. That string has got a clip and all. You hang it on your underwears and all, so you don't lose it. This thing costs some money. So that's the deal there and all. And as far as the thing, I keep going for the tumor. I keep going for MRIs and all. And they say it's growing slow, and I'm good. And it isn't worth talking about. So I believe we're just about out of time. And but I had to get it across to you with this hearing aid. And I can't do it here with this. It whistles. It'll whistle again. The microphone picks it up, and it'll be a whistling noise. We can't use that thing. But and half the time I don't even wear it. But it explain it to you. It picks it up, and then it goes through the skull. How it gets through my skull, I don't know. To the good ear, and then I can hear it, but I don't know the direction. That's my problem. Direction. I have no idea where sound is coming from. None. My wife, I can't even find her. You got to tell me back, front, this bathroom. Things like that. I have no idea where the sound's coming from. Okay, we're ending it here.